Country fans were blindsided when Miranda Lambert abruptly canceled her Las Vegas show, a rare move from an artist known for grit, fire, and an ironclad stage presence. Behind the bright lights and chart-topping singles, few realized the weight she'd been carrying, the pace, the pressure, and the quiet exhaustion that comes with never slowing down. When she stepped back with a health update, it wasn't only the music that paused. It was a moment when fans finally glimpsed the vulnerability she'd long kept tucked behind the spotlight. Miranda Lambert has always felt larger than life, a voice that can fill an arena and lyrics that cut clean to the bone. But the road to that power was anything but effortless. Born in Lindale, Texas, she grew up in a home defined by service and strain. Her parents, Rick and Bev Lambert, ran a private investigation business that also served as a makeshift haven for women escaping abusive relationships. When the economy crashed and the business folded, the family lost nearly everything. They moved in with relatives and scraped by, rebuilding piece by piece. Those early years left an imprint you can hear in her songs, heartbreak and defiance braided with resilience. Music wasn't just escape, it was survival. Miranda played anywhere someone would hand her a mic, fairs, festivals, and tiny honky-tonks packed with locals who recognized the power in that teenage voice. At 16, she landed a slot on the Johnny High Country Music Review in Arlington, the same showcase that launched LeAnn Rimes. That appearance changed everything. It showed her what a career might look like and how hard she'd have to fight to earn it. After finishing high school early, she dove in headfirst, booking her own gigs, crisscrossing Texas in the family pickup, selling homemade CDs out of the back seat. In 2001, at just 17, she released her first independent self-titled album with local players and borrowed funds. It didn't make her famous, but it proved she could do this on her own terms. 2 years later came Nashville Star. She placed third, but the prize she took was bigger than a trophy, a record deal with Epic Records. Her debut on a major label, Kerosene, 2005, didn't tiptoe onto the scene, it exploded. The album opened at #1 on Billboard's Top Country Albums chart, with 11 of 12 tracks written or co-written by Miranda, almost unheard of for a debut. And the sound, fierce, fiery, unapologetically Southern. Across the next 2 decades, Miranda became a defining voice of modern country. Album after album, she broadened her range, without losing the raw honesty fans clung to. The accolades followed, CMA Awards, Grammys, ACMs, eventually making her the most awarded artist in ACM history. In 2019, the Chicago Tribune named her among the greatest country artists of all time. It felt less like flattery and more like acknowledgement. Through it all, fans sensed a heavier weight beneath the music. Miranda's songs weren't glossy pop anthems. They were lived-in stories, pain, humor, humanity. That candor only deepened the bond, but it also blurred the line between the woman and the myth. As her career rose, so did the demands. In interviews, Miranda admitted the pressure of living up to her own legend, tours, hits, endless expectations to be Miranda Lambert. And still, night after night, she walked on stage smiling, pouring out everything she had. On August 19, 2016, in Hartford, Connecticut, something happened no one expected. Miranda stepped into the hush of the house that built me, the song that defines her at the marrow. As the room quieted, a fan raised a handwritten sign, 3 combat tours. Your voice was the last thing I listened to every night. Thank you. Miranda saw it mid-verse. She stopped. Then she crossed to the edge of the stage, took the poster, and held it up for the entire arena. The man was Jeff Tediska, a U.S. combat veteran who had served 3 tours overseas. For a few beats, she just looked at the words, surprise, disbelief, and a deep, unmistakable ache in her eyes. She tried to sing again. The words came only a few lines before her voice broke. Tears spilled. She laughed softly through them and shook her head, whispering, I can't do it. Sing the verse. I got to get a drink. In the crowd, Jeff Tediska wiped his eyes too. Later, he said her music helped him endure the loneliest nights when almost nothing else could. The clip went everywhere within hours. Millions watched the breakdown and remembered why her songs matter, because a lyric born in a quiet room can be the last light for someone a world away. What most didn't know, this wasn't only a touching concert moment. It landed during a season when Miranda herself was struggling, keeping her private world stitched together under a spotlight that never dimmed. The tears that night were for the veteran and for herself. Some artists feed on the spotlight. Others learn to live with its glare. For Miranda, fame has always been a double-edged blade. The stage that made her a star invited constant scrutiny. Her life sliced into headlines, triumphs, yes, but also heartbreak, pressure, and a relentless fight to hold on to herself while the world watched. Her most public trial was her marriage to Blake Shelton. Their 2011 wedding read like a country fairy tale. Two giants at the top of their game finding each other. Fans adored them. Media chased them. Nashville crowned them its golden couple. But fame doesn't mend cracks, it widens them. Endless touring, separate projects, invasive coverage, pressure built. When the divorce came in 2015, it wasn't just personal pain. It was a national spectacle. Every outlet dissected it. Miranda, long known for toughness, was suddenly framed as the heartbroken ex, while Blake's TV presence ballooned. She rarely spoke, but when she did, the wounds showed. Tabloids painted her as unpredictable and unstable, labels she'd spend years quietly outliving. Even the music became a referendum on her private life. Every lyric was picked apart for coded messages. People missed the simplest truth. She wasn't hiding her pain. She was processing it the only way she knew how. In time, she opened up about her mental and emotional weather. She called herself rough around the edges, admitted she could be a downer, and refused to apologize. The best example I can set is to be real and show my flaws. Without the hard stuff, the chaos, the crazy schedule, the heartbreak, the falling in love, the falling out of love, I wouldn't be who I am. I'm thankful for the lessons, even though they hurt at the time. Another quiet battle, body image. Being a woman in country music meant living under a microscope. Cameras, comments, hot takes. Every fluctuation became a story. By 30, she took back control, not for the industry but for herself. She trained, focused on balance, and chased peace instead of perfection. The goal wasn't smaller, it was stronger. Then in 2019 came a shock of joy. Miranda revealed she had quietly married Brendan McLaughlin, a New York City police officer she met less than 3 months prior. One photo, one caption, they tied the knot. After years of having relationships turned into fodder. This was hers, shared on her timing. Later, she opened up with humor and gratitude for the calm he brought, but the pressure of work never truly disappeared. I've been a horse with blinders for so long, she admitted. I think I did miss a few things by pushing. That confession said it all. Even success can steal the view. By 2023, Miranda didn't have to prove anything. She'd conquered country, built an empire on honesty, and owned the stage. But the same fearlessness her fans loved collided with a concert culture she barely recognized. During her Las Vegas residency, designed to feel intimate, one night exposed a gap. As she began a tender song, a small group near the front turned their backs, not to leave, but to pose. Phones lifted high, grinning for the perfect selfie with Miranda as backdrop. She felt the connection break, stopped mid-song, and said, "I'm going to stop right here for a second. These girls are worried about a selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit. I don't like it at all. You're here to hear some country music tonight. I'm singing some country music." The room split. Some cheered, grateful someone said out loud how disrespectful constant filming can feel. Others bristled, insisting a ticket buys the right to document the night any way you want. In the video, one fan tried to leave with her group. "Let's go. Come on. We don't do that to fans." By morning, the internet had turned it into a referendum. Artistry versus phone culture. Presence versus performance. For Miranda, it wasn't ego, it was connection. Her shows are conversation, not a backdrop. When that thread snapped, even for a second it hurt. She's built a career on songs